October 20th, 10 a.m. Start the timer. District Court number 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and defense will be able to present a decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present at Studio 2 and the Studio 2 trailer that day. For their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. And she's smoking in court? What? Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez, I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes. I dislike needless banter. You must pontificate. Do it when I'm not here. Very well, Ms. Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. She even wearing pants? I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bones at the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. There was a van in Studio 2. I had him take me to that. I thought it might be risky to walk. What with the monkey head toppling over. I see. Very well. What? I don't get it. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Day of the murder. I'm gonna press. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in the employee area? No. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. Press that one. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Let's talk a bit more about
Objection!
The witness did not come to here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. Same can be said for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1.
Hold it!
And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it would be between those times. You would think? Come on. All you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Why were you fatigued? Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that even mean? It means that what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, alright.
Hold it!
And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Whoops. It was a 15-minute break. Tell him I ate T-bones to the table in front of the trailer.
Hold it!
I'm gonna press everything. Did you have someone who can verify this? Sal? No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. She committed murder during that break. She wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find any? Kind of wish she'd had a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said somewhere. The only way to get from Studio 2 to Studio 1 via a van would have been via this area, and there was a tree in the way. That's good evidence. Oh, there was no bone! There was no bones! There was no bones!
Objection!
As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What? What's this now, Mr. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, I need to remind you it was a T-bone steak. Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Miss Manila ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat the steak. You ate the bone too. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? She was meeting with a steel samurai. She's not wearing pants. She's wearing a dress. Or are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the steel samurai, and then you did, and then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Mr. Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it. Yes, fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you see, a woman of petite stature. How can I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you could. I think it was broken. She could have used half of it. It's not impossible. Well, maybe it's not impossible, but silence. I'm speaking. The victim was stabbed through the chest from the front, yes? I believe this would indicate that the victim was aware of the killer's presence. Now, the steel samurai costume is quite light and mobile. Compared to the victim, I am weaker and slower. I couldn't possibly win such a fight. Not to mention, there is proof I did not have the spear. The photograph of the steel samurai shows the victim himself was holding it. Or do you mean that Do you mean to suggest that I could have wrestled it away from him? Yeah, take that, Mr. Wright. You still think she did it? Show us proof. Hey Nick, look at the data we have about this samurai spear in the court record. Isn't there something in it there that gets to you? Something odd about the samurai spear? Wait, something the matter, Mr. Wright? Sorry, Your Honor. I'd like to take back my previous claim. Very well, I won't hold you to your claim. But I'm afraid I will have to penalize you. Oh no. What's this, you're taking back your claim? Let's backtrack for a moment. I want to consider whether the witness could have used the samurai spear or not. However, that has no bearing on the case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? Well, what's the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. You can prove this samurai spear was not used as a murder weapon? I can? I mean, it was broke. Maybe that's what I need to do. We'll present the samurai spear.
Take that!
I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through, but someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who's wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order, order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. What? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what the weapon? I can tell you. I would make a claim. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your competence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then.
Take that!
Look at this photo. See, that's the one I presented before. Whoa, what is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing on top of the stairs. Order, order. If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does it have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? What? Are you sane? Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again. It's alright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? She looks happy. Why does she look happy? Oh, hello. Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you in my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to the Studio One and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could he? She had another way. What if she had another way to carry the body, other than her own hands? For instance... Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she could have carried the body. Well, the van, obviously.
Take that!
Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio One, and you used the studio van to do it. Yeah, makes sense, CC. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio One. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume.
Objection!
Hold on, right? Don't forget, it was Sal Manila who drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manila was a conspirator? Was he? I don't think he was. Of course he wasn't. Ah, so without Mr. Manila noticing anything, she put the body in the van, then managed to put the body in the costume? Are you seriously suggesting that is possible? Of course I'm not serious. Aww. I was kidding. To her, lighten up the proceedings. Light? You can't lighten up murder. Mr. Wright, the court requests you refrain from making claims in jest. Yes, Your Honor. Of course Sal Manila has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put in the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? So what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez? So it was you? You killed Jack Hammer? Yeah. Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did it, Mr. Wright? We just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that was only possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? What? I haven't needed... Edgeworth doesn't need any proof. I'm the one that needs proof. This is not innocent until proven guilty. This is guilty until proven innocent in this game. Or, Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've got no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? So the testimony of Cody was an unknown, what I thought was a man, but it must have been her, I guess. I guess it was far away, so... This is interesting. I don't know. Testify again, Vasquez. You did it, Vasquez. No further questions, Vasquez. Do I want no further questions? We'll just do that one. Yes, Mr. Wright. I was hoping I'd come up with a question while pounding on my desk. I didn't. You have my sympathies. Damn, to come so far only to fail. As it seems there is no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of
Objection!
Vasquez. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I see. Very well.
Objection!
Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. Okay. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does it make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in Miss Vasquez repeating herself. What exactly do you want her to testify about? Well, yes, indeed. Verily, I say. Here we go. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Well, that's not testify again. That's testify about something else. Nick, why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it, too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all, Edgeworth. After finding the body... I was with Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Old Bag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying, "He did it!" Asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're really close, really close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need to twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Cross-examination. After finding the body. I was with Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when we found the body. Press! What time was that? We were to meet at 5 p.m. for a rehearsal. So I'd say it was then. When exactly did Mr. Manila arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing my bodies in... I wasn't stuffing my bodies into costumes, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy? The witness will continue her testimony. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seem calm enough when I accuse you of murder. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps, but no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without this steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting on location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez. You may continue. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up.
Hold it!
I'm gonna press on everything. What was everyone else doing at the time? No one said a thing. Silent, completely silent, so we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Silence. Hey Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Goldbag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done? She said because she saw him go toward the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seemed to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. A photograph, meaning the only one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. Why? You asked to be left out of the proceedings? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fine for that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that, since we were in a meeting. There's no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you, or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot writing on it, with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure they're professionals. Helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Wait a second. Script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? It was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Wait, no, that doesn't make sense.
Objection!
That doesn't make sense! Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. I knew that. She's a director. She's a director. No, she's a producer. She's a producer. Order, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, what you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. The prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reasoning. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left him behind.
Hold it!
How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. Let's find something to peg this on her, or everything we've done up until now will be wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. Thanks for the taco party, Patchy. That was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when I found the body. Okay, let's see what we got here. This is getting hard. It was Powers that was injured, not Hammer. Do I present this?
Objection!
You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, It was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammers is dragging his leg in this photo, but that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why do you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal. It was Sal who told me. It's me being smart. That's what it is. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manila was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah! And when he was doing this, well, it would have been after he put on a Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Ms. Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai looking. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order. I will have order. Witness? Can you refute his claim? Look, she's still smiling. Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Oh no. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I have nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? Why would Powers have killed Hammer? Like, I love how they're like, oh, you need motive too, when they don't need motive to find people guilty. If there's a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say in the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course I can prove it. Okay, I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present to the court the evidence as to her motive for the murder. I believe it's this right here. Like this photo right here. Like, this seems like the evidence we need, right?
Take that!
This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Miss Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around? As if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez and not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me, and I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for the murder. She has no motive? Do I have anything to prove a motive? Does she have a motive? Like, hell, what the motive would she have? I don't think I have any evidence to prove a motive, do I? She had no motive, Your Honor. Well, what's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor. Yeah, that actually does make sense. Because the kid said that the way things worked, it seemed like... Yeah. Jack Hammer drugged Miss Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing area and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had cruelly taken advantage of him for all those years. Now she's mad. Now she's upset. She's upset that we got her off of a murder charge. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel. Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No. How could this... It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel. Don't touch him. Miss Vasquez, no! Please don't die, please. I don't know what that was. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's D. Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought about another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor? I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Confetti again. That is all. This court is adjourned. We did it. We proved him innocent. Again. Because we're amazing. October 20th, 1:12 p.m. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Do I know why? I don't think I know why. I mean... This I could potentially present.
Take that!
It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid's show. And as the villain to boot. The kids love the Steel Samurai, so he hated you. I think I understand. He could just have told me. I would have changed places with him anytime. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's over. So am I. Thanks for the taco party, Calorific and Jadler. Congratulations, WP. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... You're gonna need a new costume. Is something wrong? No, of course not. Ah! Nick, Edgeworth. It's Edgeworth. Oh no, it's Edgeworth. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away with it if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Where? Right? I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. What? Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What friend? What friends? As if they're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? No, we get it. And so the curtain closed on another trial. It caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Wait. He's playing the lead on the Pink Princess? Interesting. The end! The end!